Okay, this is my blog spot about UFOs, and here you can see a picture of Jesse Marcel holding up evidence from back in 1947 when a UFO crashed on Earth here in a very small town known as Roswell. Back then, witnesses were told to shut up, so the incident was very well isolated, but later on people came forward and started talking about the event that happened in Roswell where alien bodies were recovered. Later on in time, a former Department of Naval Intelligence member, Bob Lazar, discloses that the government is in fact working with extraterrestrials and backward engineering extraterrestrial craft. And yet later, NASA films massive sized UFOs in a tether experiment. Take note that the tether is 2.5 miles long in space, so this UFO showing up here must be massive in size. Massive sized UFOs are seen in Arizona, not just by hundreds or thousands, but tens of thousands of people see the UFO. The Air Force attempts to cover it up by putting up illumination flares, which are later proved to be a cover-up by scientists who study the lights of the real UFOs and the illumination flares. Besides that, illumination flares don't fly off into outer space. There's another picture of the NASA UFO and the tether out in space. Take note that not just one of these UFOs were seen, but many of them were seen. Later, the Mexican Air Force captures a fleet of UFOs. They are also told not to talk about it. A woman named Sharon Rollins from Derbyshire, United Kingdom, films a shape-shifting UFO. So we're at a point in time where UFOs are just pretty much popping up everywhere, and there's just so much evidence. It's, there's no way they can debunk it anymore. And what I really want to talk about here is, you should know by now that UFOs are extraterrestrial. You just should know this by now. Our technology isn't advanced enough to make UFOs of this size that can move faster than light speed or light speed and move at great speeds. We just don't have that technology yet. And what I wrote was a little article about the possibility of intelligent life forms in the universe. Now remember, the universe is a very big place, and we're just part of it in the form of a galaxy. So there's all kinds of other galaxies out there. We only know about so many of them. But in this galaxy, this is this one galaxy which happens to have 200 billion stars. So that's an amazing fact there. Now just look at these galaxies. Look at this. They're all spiral in nature, and so is our own solar system. It's spiral in nature. That means everything has a pattern. Everything is similar. So we should think that within other solar systems and galaxies that we're also going to find similar things, and possibly more advanced things. So let me go ahead and read what I wrote here. It is estimated that in our own galaxy, the Milky Way, there are 200 billion stars. That means there are 200 billion suns, many of which like our own. Our own star is a very common star, a yellow dwarf. Earth scientists using conventional technology cannot tell if there are any planets around these stars. Reason is they cannot see them with the technology we have. Only recently scientists have discovered planets surrounding other stars using Doppler shift technology. The technology is far from perfect and can only find Jupiter-sized planets, which are very large and cause the Doppler shift effect. The thing I find interesting is that most of these stars probably have the same Goldilocks zone where life can exist, just like on our planet Earth. That means a planet that is in orbit from the Sun at just the right spot. You see, the universe itself works in spirals, so it would not be that uncommon for there to be other similar and even more evolved solar systems, because they are all going to have the same type of structure. The reason we don't have any more Earth-like planets on our own solar system is because there's only room for one Goldilocks zone, where the temperature is not too hot and not too cold. Are you following me? Good news is that for every one of those 200 billion stars out there is the potential for life. That means for each star a Goldilocks zone potential. In fact, some might be much more evolved than us, because this sun is not the oldest sun in the universe. In fact, far from. And this is all just in our own galaxy, the Milky Way, not including the entire universe yet. Galaxies are believed to have between 100 billion and 100 trillion stars in them. Remember, our galaxy, the Milky Way, has 200 billion stars, which are suns. But in other galaxies, there may be 1 trillion stars, and stars are suns. A star is a sun, and a galaxy is just a small part of the massive universe where man can only speculate on its size. So in the universe, there's a massive potential for life within our own galaxy and other galaxies. For all we know, the universe is unending. The school systems, governments, and religions of the world will have you believe that we're the only intelligent life form. I don't think that's true to any extent. Some even go as far to say that UFOs are demons. Intelligent people know that as life forms, man is like a speck of sand in the vast universe with endless possibilities. Now just think about what we're talking about here. Within that galaxy here that I have pictured, the Milky Way, there are 200 billion suns, each of them with the potential of a Goldilocks zone. That means it's just at the right position, and since solar systems are spiral in nature, that means that every one of those is going to have a Goldilocks zone, because they're going to fall into position. The planets are just going to fall into position from the gravitational effects, and then as they evolve, they will have life. And remember, we're not the oldest sun out there. So there's suns that are more evolved, perhaps civilizations that are much more evolved. And I mean, and look at the evidence we have. We have huge, humongous-sized UFOs showing up all the time. As our technology advances, we're able to see more and more. UFO-confirmed.blogspot.com. Stop by.